Hello, and greetings, Hira family. So the camera's up here. I haven't taken this angle in a while. I found one of my old tripods, one of the ones that was only in my possession for a limited time before, because I was gifted two of them, and I knew I wanted to use multiple angles. So not too long after I got this one, I gave it to my number one fan, my mom, so that she could use it. And now here I am. I saw it the other day. So tonight I was like, why not? And here we are, Ira family. It is me, your favorite absentee YouTuber. It reminds me in my last semester, um, there was a professor that I had that led the meditation club on campus. And I would see him once a week in meditation class more often than I would see him in the class that he taught three times a week. And he never said anything, and I never said anything. But I do want to check the audio really quick. So it's coming from my laptop. I have two bars, so it should be fine. But I don't want any feedback, so give me one moment. All right, the audio sounds decent enough. So I'm actually not subscribed to myself, so I had to like search for my YouTube. So what I'm gonna do is, I don't know. Honestly, I'm feeling a certain type of way tonight. It just came on all of a sudden. Uh, ooh, the Hermit at the bottom of the deck. I have the Wada Known Tarot and the Spirit Keepers Tarot Vitruvian and Revelations editions. I don't necessarily know if I want to use both. I'm feeling whatever. Not like, I don't know. I feel curious, adventurous, maybe like a cat, kind of. I'm drinking iced coffee at what, 3 a.m. out of a Powerade Zero bottle. This is where my life is right now. And I'm kind of low key relishing in it. 2:41 a.m. Okay. I'm feeling kind of polemical. So I want to look around the Seven of Swords in this deck because it is my card of birthright. And it came out, the Seven of Swords and the Fool came out in the Gilded Tarot Royale. No, Gilded Reverie. Yeah, Gilded Tarot Royale. And so, yeah, I'm going to look before and after the Seven of Swords. And then in one of these editions of the SKT, I'm going to pull before and after. Is that how I'm going to do it? Because I want to pull before and after the Initiate, the Seeker, and the Keeper. The three Fools, the Empress, and the Ace of Swords. And the SKT. And then I also want to pull before and after the Magician. I think before The initiate, seeker, or keeper is going to be what triggers it. And then after is going to be like what we get. And then I had the thought to pull around the magician, but maybe I'll just leave it. The magician has 4 tools, and that would only get 3. Now, since I'm pulling before and after the 7 of swords, now the emperor is at the bottom of the deck. The hermit, the empress, the ace of swords, and now the emperor. Um, I think I'll use the Vitruvian edition. Or I could do the magician and the Vitruvian edition, but do the initiate, seeker, and keeper in the Revelations edition. I think that's what I'm going to do. And so for that 4th, uh, no, because the birthright initiates the whole thing. I don't know. We'll see. This is general. Honestly, this is one of those take it as it resonates. I got a wild hair, and here I am. And both Google and Siri told me to come live over here. Well, no, Google told me to come live, and I was going to ask Siri, but I've been wanting to go live on this side for quite a while now, actually, honestly. Um, and so, yeah, that's what we're going to do. I feel like, I don't know, I usually feel a little bit more free. The Reaper. Passage to initiation. Okay. Love that. Alignment, that little synchronicity. Uh, yeah, usually I feel a little bit more free over here to like really dive deep. So that's what we're gonna do. Or that's what we're gonna attempt to do. All right, all right. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what comes up. We'll see what's up. I think the last time I was live here, no, I may have used this tripod since I've been back. Or maybe I did just use, oh wow, more confirmation. Thank you. Or maybe I did just use, I need to put something under here so it's a little bit more uh, sturdy. There we go. There we go. I think I'll use my webcam. Iced coffee doesn't keep me up, so that's why I'm drinking it. I think I got it from my mom. Oh, The Seeker. Spirit in Search of Experience came out of the deck. Spirit in Search of Science. This is the second fool. I keep holding it down here for the camera. This camera's like all the way up here. What's at the bottom of the deck? Bottom of the deck is the Chariot, Chariot of Osiris, which is Cancer. Did we just have a Venus Jupiter conjunction in Cancer? Does this? No, that's not how this works. So I'm going to have to put you back. Now the angel is at the cut with the chariot. 7:14, half of 14 is 7. This is Sagittarius and Cancer energy. So Jupiter and Venus are in Sagittarius. The Sun and the tension just flipped over. Oh my gosh, this deck is like the demon came out, with the Sun and the tension at the bottom of the deck. And New World Order after that tension. The Conservator is at the cut, Sun and Capricorn with that devil energy, which is interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, girl. Come on. Where's my whimsy? All right. So, I'm actually. Oh, I can't do that. See, I was going to write a program. I guess I still can. I can have numbers from 0 to 90? No, 0 to 100? 0 being the Fool, Ace through 78. No, it is only 78 cards. Yeah. I had a thought to basically write code that pulls cards, because then I could pull, like, I can get face down before and after a card, right? Because I have to look at the cards to know where they are. Unless I had like a sticker or something to mark the significator. And then that way I could pull the cards before and after face down. And I'm like, man, I wish I could do that, but I don't want to ruin any of my cards by sticking something to it that I can't get off. Oh well, it's fine. Actually, so we're gonna go the Initiate, the Seeker, the Seven of Swords, and then the Keeper, and then the Magician. That's how we're gonna do it. Ace of Cups and the Initiate at the cut. The Initiate at the cut with the Vagabond. That Five of Pentacles was coming out a lot last time. The Seeker popped out. The Initiate was at the cut. These fools are like, we are HAIR here. What's in there? All right. Last one. Oh, the Empress just did a dirty flip. I'll flip her back over. The Hallowed Flame, Ace of Scepters, The Awakening, just came out. Actually, I am. I'm going to read this from the Little White Book. I've been like really loving the Little White Books lately. Hallowed Flame. A switch inside you has turned on your creativity, productivity, and ingenuity. Fire is alchemizing in your world, materializing as a creative project, an innovative new venture, a birth, entrepreneurship, or the spark of inspiration for a passion project. This is also a new direction in career development. This is the awakening stage of your path. New knowledge is attained. Divine reason is the light in your eyes. Take the necessary beginning steps to transform a dream into your reality. Start a new journey and a new chapter of opportunities will unfold. Cool. Love that. Top of the deck is the title card. I'm going to pull from the top. So I can see the card before, and then I'll put the card face down after. So the title card, the Blind Seer, and the Reaper are the bottom three cards. Again, the Reaper is the passage to initiation. This Ace of Wands is the awakening. The title card is my BTFU, STFU, mind your business, live life and find out card because for two reasons. One, it represents the things that if we were to know too early, we would get the wrong idea, whatever that means. We don't yet have enough life experience or information to arrive to the proper conclusion if we were told something. The other reading for the card is anything that's not for me, the reader, or the general collective. Anyone else. Anything that's not for anyone else but you to know, whoever this resonates for. Right? So if I were doing a self read and the title card came out, like maybe it would be something that I keep to myself, but I don't share via live, right? I don't think that happens too much. Usually the cards come out and I know what it means for me, and I'll just like whatever. But there have been times when um, it's come out for someone else, like while I'm reading someone else, and it's been that feeling of like, whatever this is, it's sacred to the other person. So, anyway, what's interesting is though, immediately after that is the Two of Swords Blind Seer. So, you have the title card being this blank spot, and then you have the Blind Seer who isn't fooled by. You have the blind seer whose perception isn't based upon appearances. And then immediately after that is the passage to initiation. So it's almost like whatever was withheld or whatever we could have been in danger of misinterpreting, the blind seer, I want to say the blind seer got as close to correct enough of an idea that it leads her to this initiation. But also, there's almost like an instance of what it's like what hasn't been said or what isn't being said. It's like when silence speaks louder than words. Or, like, for example, in this one show that I watched, they were looking for the ruler of a certain realm because that ruler had gone missing. And there was a cartographer in the realm. And the cartographer was like, well, I've mapped every inch of this realm besides this one part that the ruler told me that I specifically cannot go. So when the ruler was missing and no one knew where they were, of course, the first place you check is the one area that the cartographer was told he could not go, which ended up ultimately leading them to the ruler. So it's that like where there's like this distinct outline or like a silhouette, like right, who's that Pokemon? You would know that reference. It's like you can match the silhouette or the shape of a thing to. It's like if you have a square hole and you have a round peg and you have a triangle peg and then you have like a rectangular or a square peg. Because it's a square hole, you can kind of figure out that it's either the square peg or the rectangular peg, right? And I say that because alongside that eye of God, actually, I wonder if I could give me one moment. Since I'm using OBS, I almost wonder. I think one of these uses the webcam in my laptop. It's fine. I don't want to mess it up. Um, it's also because like all of the components, the sun, the moon, this block are around the eye of God in the center of this card. So it's like it uses context clues. Excuse me, and it goes on this initiation maybe before a path fully opens. Right? Interesting, interesting, interesting. I mean, we saw the seeker. Like the seeker flew out and we're starting at the initiate. So that in and of itself is kind of low key in energy of like a head start. So Hierophants piece something together. Okay. The Knight of Pentacles, Shining Quarry is at the bottom of the deck. Oof. All right, I'm looking for the initiate. If I find, I guess I'll shuffle it every time. No, because if I shuffle it every time, I'll have a first three every time. That's fine. I'll shuffle it if I have to, but am gonna go in that order. I have the initiate, the seeker, and then the keeper. Oh my goodness. And I pulled the card after. I'm failing. I am failing. So the keeper came out before the initiate, and apocalypse, judgment is after. The third signifier came out before the first. The wheel of life, destiny turning, and the giver, six of orbs, are before the keeper. So the keeper is in between the wheel of life and the initiate. The initiate is in between the keeper and apocalypse. What's interesting is this is almost like some kind of future past type energy. The not impetus, the trigger for the initial initiation is spirit and petition of spirit, the keeper. And again, before the keeper is destiny turning in the wheel of life. Apocalypse, last judgment. Oh, I'm going to keep going and we're going to find Archangel Commander is after Apocalypse. And the Rogue Seven of Swords is after that. After the Rogue is the Demiurge Four of Wands. The Rogue Seven of Swords is what I'm going to be looking for in the Wadanon Tarot, again, because in that deck in particular, it's my card of birthright. So the Archangel Commander in Real Karukian Mythos. I haven't used the term on this channel. Real Karukian Mythos is how I refer to things that mean certain things to me because of readings that I've done on my channel, Real Karuk. In Real Karukian Mythos, the Archangel Commander, I don't want to say he's the bestower of birthright, but he it's almost like a pre-initiatory energy. He encourages us to do something in particular that is within our power to do that we may not believe is in our power to do. In the story, we seek Archangel Michael because of his sword and what his sword can do. Archangel Michael says that he doesn't have his sword, it's fallen to earth. And so he sends us on a quest to find his sword so that we can vanquish our own whatever. After we vanquish the whatever, after we handle whatever challenge, and we present the sword to Michael, since we don't need it anymore, Archangel Michael tells us that it's our sword in so many words. And then he trains us in it, or like we learn more after that. So to have that energy immediately before this birthright, the card of birthright, and then to have the demiurge immediately after that card of birthright, I'm not surprised that the demiurge is immediately after that card. But it's interesting how close. See, but then again, it's like this. It's almost like it reads like there is something that we will do in the future. And again, with Sphinx destiny turning, maybe life could have gone a few different ways. And because one thing in particular happened here, is going to set forth a chain of events moving into the future. And at some future time, because of this chain of events, we're going to be in a certain position or predicament. And we're going to make a choice of consequence because it's judgment. And it's almost like in order to prepare us for what we'll need to do at that time, we've been set, like our own trajectory has been altered somewhat. Like it has, but it hasn't. Because it's almost like, let's say, like something would have taken us longer. Let's say on timeline A, there is something that we don't, like a choice or decision that we don't make for 10 years. But because something else happened, we're going to reach a point in like 2 years to make a choice or decision similar to the one that in timeline A we would have made in 10 years. So either a bunch of stuff has to be crammed into 2 years, or we have to have enough of a foundation to make the choice in 2 years that we would have made in 10, and then like pick up the rest after. But that's this like future past energy. It's almost like because we will do something, we are initiated on the path to make sure we will do that. And then when we get to that point, we will have reached that point because of the very thing that started the initiation altogether. Right? Because if we go initiate, seeker, keeper, we'll wrap back around to this keeper here. Interesting. Oh, this is the wrong deck. Well, the joyous one. I went to the wrong deck. The Reaper is at the bottom of the deck over here. The Reaper was the third card out. How did I reach for the wrong deck? Not paying attention. All right. But again, the Seeker came out like immediately. The Seeker came out immediately, and something behind the title card was gleamed, and that blind seer Two of Swords. I guess I might as well reveal all the cards now. The Magician is in between the Chancellor Justice and the Magus. Between the Chancellor Justice and the Vagabond. Five of Pentacles. There's that Five of Pentacles energy again. Even with, there was some run of cards. The High Priestess was next to the Conservator, and we just saw the Conservator with that Devil energy. And then the Sun is on the other side. The Devil came out, and what the Sun Warrior was at the cut or something like that. Justice and the Five of Pentacles is rough energy. Um, it can be because it's like whoever or whatever is out in the cold is out in the cold because it deserves to be. Deserves is a strong word. Um, it's like it could be karma. But that's not what we're looking for. The Empress that flipped out, the dirty flip, is in between the joyous one, Ten of Cups, and no, it was the Five of Pentacles, and then the Empress, the Hermit, and the joyous one. Between the Five of Pentacles and the Hermit is that Empress. In the last video on Real Court on the Legacy channel, we saw the Five of Pentacles and the Hermit in the actual Matrix Tarot. And it was like the people that were seeking shelter and warmth, and the Five of Pentacles, like the Hermit was expecting them, but they had ended up at the wrong place. And so to see this Five of Pentacles and the Emperor, or the Five of Pentacles and the Hermit so close together, separated by the Empress, is interesting. I wonder if the Empress is an energy that creates a home for herself and then welcomes others to it. The Joyous One, Ten of Cups, again, is after that Hermit energy. The Empress realizes that she doesn't need. The Empress, through circumstance, realizes that she doesn't need whatever comfort, shelter that was owed to her, that she should have been provided. And she works through her circumstances and then creates something that actually helps others do theirs, or actually helps others work through theirs. This is some wibbly wobbly, timey wimey type. Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. And then the Chariot is after that. Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, and then the Chariot. Love that energy. Let that energy. Still looking for the Seeker. Oh, okay. Almost revealed the card. The Herald of the Earth. Dedication of the Adept is before the Seeker. I love that. Dedication of the Adept. And then the Seeker, Spirit in Search of Science. I feel like that makes so much sense. It's like the Seeker has diligently and earnestly put their all into their work, right? The initiate is initiated, the Seeker does their due diligence and then reaches the point of further initiation or the divulgence of more information for a greater understanding to be had. How am I going to do this? I guess I'll put these here. The Herald of the Earth is the initiation for the Seeker. So again, the dedication of the Adept is what puts someone across that second threshold. The first threshold is met because of what someone may do someday. And see, again, like this is the title card did come out first. So it's not surprising. Like it fits that someone gets a bunch of contextual information. They can see things happening in plain sight with the sun. They can see potentialities in some of the plays behind the scenes or motivations or whatever with the moon, with the cube. Maybe they see like a broader picture. And then with the eye of God, they like intuit the relationship between the three. And so maybe the blind seer has seen themselves in a position someday, On some level, the blind seer sees it. And again, that's the passage to initiation. That is what they will do at the end of the journey, is the impetus for them to begin it. To be granted, because this is a tool gained after. For last judgment to be the tool gained, it's almost like it shows the divine's trust in someone's judgment. Despite whatever that judgment call is. Right? Destiny turning is the thing that initiates the keeper. And again, what initiates the seeker is the adept, or is the herald of the earth, dedication of the adept. Why this isn't surprising is, even though the initiate, the blind seer, is expressing great insight to be able to see all of this, and initiative in the way that the blind seer positions themselves to do something, because it's never directly stated, because it remains in the intuitive realm, it's almost like there's never glaringly obvious concrete confirmation, or it's like there won't be until it's too late. At the point in time where something is like blaringly obvious, like that's the moment when intervention needs to be had. But the dedication of the adept is them like continuously moving forward on something, even if things like don't necessarily like reveal themselves. And that's what further initiates them into the seeker, or the path of the seeker. And then when the time comes for destiny to turn in whatever way, the keeper will be able to turn it back, or to further turn it in a different direction. Which would potentially start a whole new cycle, with the initiate being the reward for the keeper. Okay. Before and after the Wheel of Fortune, the High Priestess, and the Father of Cups. At the bottom. I'm looking from the bottom. Before and after the Seven of Swords over here. This is interesting. I'm not surprised that the Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess are there together, because that's basically this energy. The Father of Cups isn't necessarily interesting. Maybe because the Queen of Cups is pre High Priestess energy. But maybe with the Father of Cups, like he's intuitive and everything that the Queen of Cups is. But maybe as the Father, like he put some kind of action into something. Like there's an emphasis on action and not just a perceived path or change. right? Because that was the whole thing with the Archangel Commander. It was not just to have the sword, but also to know how to use it and to actually use it. Like the initiate is given this last judgment to affect things in some way, not just to perceive them. And maybe that's what makes this a little different. It's not necessarily a perception and preparation and way of an outcome not being changed, right? It's not like the Queen of Cups is almost more like there's a great storm coming, so I'm going to stock up and hunker down, ride out the storm in my bunker, and then after the storm, I'll reemerge and blah, 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 whatever. The King of Cups, it's more like the storm is coming. Okay, well, like, what can we do if there's a lot of water, right? What can we do to divert the, like, if there's going to be like a river swelling or something like that, right? Like, what can we do to divert the river so that the town is safe? And when it comes to like the winds, right? If we know that the winds are going to be particularly rough, maybe some of the trees they like clear before the storm so that there's less damage from trees falling on top of whatever. Right? There's like something active that's done to actively mitigate rather than just to like ride it out. Anyway, Seven of Swords. Oh my gosh, it's these two cards again. Should I not be surprised? The Seven of Swords is in between the devil and the sun. The sun is the warrior, the devil was the demon. The devil is the impetus, the sun is the response. Or it's the um, sort of reward. Before the sun was the daughter of pentacles, right? Yeah. After the devil is the father of swords. After the father of swords is the ace of cups. I love this combination. This combination and the two of cups is behind the ace of cups, and the world is behind that two of cups. The world, the two of cups, the ace of cups, and the father of swords. The emperor is before the world. Love this run of cards. The ace of cups with that father of swords, it gives him a sort of credibility that almost leans towards this father of cups energy, right? The father of swords could be seen as extremely logical and kind of like cold. Um, but to have that ace of cups behind him, it like clarifies that although emotions may not dictate his decision making, whatever choice or decision he makes, whatever action he takes, he's not doing so out of a disregard for how it affects others. I feel like this combination, and again, we just, was it at the bottom? Oh, I probably shuffled the deck. We've been seeing that combination. We just saw it again. It's like because when someone is met with the darkness here, their response is to fight or to light up, it designates them for something in some way. And also, again, like that's that whole destiny turning, right? Because certain events have been set in motion. Someone is like the type of person to take a stand and make a judgment call in whatever way. So now let's reveal this card. It's Strength, the Force. That's interesting. Every gift, every award is a major arcana card. For the initiate, the award is just judgment, last judgment, apocalypse. For the keeper, the reward is the force, the tamed lion. And for the seeker, the reward is the initiate, spirit in search of experience. Also, with the Seven of Swords, what comes after is the Sun, which is another major. The Sun and Strength, the Force, Leo and the Sun energies. All right, now I'm going to look before and after the mages. All four, the four tools, the initiate, apocalypse, the force, and the sun. Or the fool, judgment, strength, and the sun. All right, let's give it a cut. From the bottom of the deck, the force. The force is at the bottom. The force, the vagabond, and the grotesque are the bottom three. That's an interesting trio. It's interesting because we just saw the Empress. But with this trio, it almost implies that, like, we have to save ourselves. Or it almost implies that, like, we can only do so much for each other. Like with the grotesque, with that Five of Cups, it's like that strength energy, the force realizes that like someone has to do something for themselves. Three of Swords, the Hermit, the Magician, and the Tower. So before the Magician is the Hermit, the Erudite. After the Magician is the Tower. We have Mars and Virgo here. This is interesting because, again, The Three of Swords is before the Erudite, the Stronghold of the Zephyrs, and the Conservator, and then the Initiate is after the Tower. After the Initiate is the Burdened One. It's interesting because, again, like we've been seeing the Five of Pentacles and the Hermit sort of together, and here they're broken up. The Five of Pentacles is in between Strength and the Five of Cups, whereas the Hermit was in between the Magician and the Three of Swords. Material and spiritual colliding, and the Hermit of the Mysteries. See, not only is this tower happening in the foreground, but there's also a volcano erupting in the background. So maybe whatever is done, it's done in the background. Or done on the back end. I do want to clarify this Herald of the Earth. Which deck do I do it with? I'll do it with the Vitruvian edition. Oops. Eight of Swords, the Demiurge, and the Hunt. Here, the Four of Wands is in between the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords. The Hunt and the Captor. The Hunt and the Captor surrounding the Demiurge. That's like, because again, the Demiurge was, it was the Archangel Commander, the Seven of Swords, and then the Demiurge. And it was like when we overcome whatever it is for us to overcome, we become able to confront something and then decide the outcome for ourselves. Over here, on the path of like what, because we all have to confront something to a certain degree on our own. When we don't confront that thing, our reality is run by the things we refuse to look at and our anxieties. Like Nine of Swords being anxieties, the things that sort of keep us up, that we recognize but have to reconcile in some way. The Eight of Swords being the things that we can't even face or don't even face, that control us in ways that we don't even know. But again, there's something about this energy with the Magician where it's like, um, there's a realization that we have to break out of certain things on our own. So this Magician does the work like behind the scenes, like to make something possible. So So there could be a little bit of a lag either way. All right. The Giver, Six of Pentacles, Archangel Commander, and the Contender. Six of Pentacles, King of Swords, Five of Wands. The Father of Swords is also the King of Swords, which is the Archangel Commander. The energy of the Archangel Commander again. But I'm looking before and after the stronghold of the veil. Oh, now the sleepies are starting to set in. Excuse me. I guess it'll be the last one. The final stronghold. The stronghold of the veil is in between the champion, Jupiter and Leo, and the shining dew, Knight of Cups, waters and waves. I wanted to look when Mars goes into Virgo. Because that's that tower and um, hermit energy. Excuse me. Scorpio. Mars is in Libra. Mars is already done with Virgo. Mars isn't every 3 years, is it? When did Mars enter Libra? Let's look at that. Mars entered Libra on August 6th, a week and a day ago. Excuse me. Which means it exited Virgo. So maybe something happened while Mars was in Virgo. Maybe there was something that, let's see. Let me go back to July 15th. Mars entered Virgo June 17th. And then it left Virgo on August 6th. So, Cancer season? Basically, Cancer season and the beginning of Leo season. Maybe something happened between there. Where someone tapped into their strength, liberating themselves from something, which means that someone's already in magician energy. Interesting. Excuse me. Cool. The Knight of Cups with the Six of Wands. Knight of Cups and the Six of Wands is a precursor to that King of Cups energy. Like with the Knight of Cups, like someone could have been maybe inundated by emotions, but with the Champion Six of Wands, they made a certain choice and decision despite how they felt. And again, maybe in doing that, they liberated themselves from circumstance, or they had proven that they're not, their actions, choices, and decisions aren't so easily swayed by circumstance, right? Where that Eight of Swords and Nine of Swords, and where those Eight of Swords and Nine of Swords energies can dictate how things manifest in our life in reality. This is like, it's an energy of someone who like shines under pressure. Cool. I don't know what I was expecting, but I don't know. I don't know if this was necessarily it. I'm gonna get final cards, and then I should go to bed. Honestly, I kind of want to go live on the Legacy channel. I should. I should just go to bed. I should just GOT the BED, GO to the BED, go to the bed, go to sleep. I guess I should say. So now I'm like low key. Your birthright is the sun, and it's triggered by devil energy. Your birthright is to shine, so of course it'd be triggered by the darkness, right? This could also be with that last judgment. It's like sanctioning someone's actions, but maybe not sanctioning in the. There may be multiple definitions. A threatened penalty for disobeying a law or rule is one. Official permission or approval for an action is two. It's sanctioning someone's actions in that official approval way, not the threatened penalty way. Give official permission or approval for, like, that's what this judgment energy is. So when destiny turns, you can turn something. Maybe the sanction of one, like your sanctioned action is a sanction for double energy, right? So whatever that double energy is in that threatened penalty for your whatever. I feel like you get what I'm trying to say. And it's almost like it's because you'll do it. Whatever it is. The tamed lion. And you'll do it in a way that's like fair or something like that. But again, like that's the Ace of Cups behind that Father of Swords energy. Excuse me. That's that Father of Cups energy. It won't be malicious and it won't be without whatever, but you'll do what needs to be done. Cool. Yeah, we'll get final cards and then I'll go to sleep. I'm so tempted to just like pull a quick few cards. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Hopefully, I'll just go to bed. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Interesting. However, that looks, in whatever way that looks, like there are so many things that are changing right now. And because so many things are changing so quickly, it's almost like there does need to be a little bit of foresight to navigate the changes now, but also the High Priestess just did a dirty flip. Um, and then the Queen of Cups, which is pre High Priestess energy. Actually, that was the King of Cups, Archangel of Healing. Sorry. Um, yeah, there's foresight needed for this time of great and significant changes, but also for the future, right? Like, for example, with AI, it's like folks are going AI crazy right now. And there's a lot of promise around AI. So, like, certain businesses or companies are making big decisions. And in time, we'll see how those decisions play out, right? And so it's almost like making your choice and decision aware, making a choice and decision, yeah, being aware of like the whole AI thing that's happening, but also looking further into the future or having a more detailed view now to know what it's truly capable of and what it isn't. As an example, right? And let's say you work at a company and for some reason your viewpoint is like trusted. And so maybe the way that you propose handling the whole AI shift is different than how a lot of your competitors are approaching it. But because your opinion is like valued, because you can see what's happening, you have insight into everything, and you're also like looking on a like a bigger scale, like out into the future. Excuse me. You may have an approach that's better suited, one that can take advantage of what's happening now, but will also not completely collapse in a few years when things play out however they play out. I don't know. Anyway, final cards. The World at the bottom of the deck. The Daughter of Wands at the cut. Oops. Oh, that's way too many cards that just did. That flip was kind of smooth. I'll take them. The Four of Swords, Justice, the Nine of Wands, and the Hierophant. Bottom of the deck is the Hermit. The Four of Swords and Justice, this is like taking your time to reach a certain conclusion, or it is observing something in multiple seasons. And I don't know with the Nine of Wands if it's because it's like getting a bigger picture. And with the moon being in this rendition of the Nine of Wands in particular, it's like if someone or something is telling the truth, that truth will continue to be. But if someone or something is pretending, there's only so long it'll hold up, right? So, for example, since we already talked about it with like AI, right? Let's say that someone has been able to come up with a certain application of AI that is like, it looks like it's really good at handling a certain task, but maybe it's only for like certain circumstances and certain parameters, right? And because someone is only working within a certain season or in a particular aspect, like let's say it looks like it handles everything really well, but if you give it a special case, it completely falls apart. Like that's something that you would want to know before you have like 10 special cases and you find out that like the model has been giving the incorrect result or whatever, like this whole time, right? So that's like the patience and justice, like revealing something. And then the Hierophant could just speak of this like being a commitment or there being something of value here. So when it comes to things that are significant and things that are of value, of course you want to take your time and make sure you're making the right decision. Under the Hermit is the Eight of Cups. Under the Eight of Cups is the Four of Wands. Under the Four of Wands is the Mother of Swords. It's almost like you don't truly lose anything by taking your time or by being smart or by being wise. Like, of course, there could be a lot of good reason to rush into something or to hurry a certain decision, but the right thing will stand the test of time. So I don't know if you are straddled between two decisions or if you will be. Cool. Collaboration. All right. SKT Vitruvian Edition. Plain flipper, plain fall, please. That was a smooth flip. The joined one, Abyssus Abyssum and Wokat. The depths of you call to the depths of me. Bottom of the deck is the lovers and the priestess. And the chariot. The chariot, the lover, the chariot, the priestess, and the lovers. With the Two of Cups coming out. Wow. Chariot of Osiris and Sanctuary of Isis. Isis and Osiris with the lovers. They were wed. Mystery of the covenant. The mystery of the covenant between Isis and Osiris is Horus, right? Horus was born of Isis and Osiris. And Horus is the order that overcame the chaos that was set. Horus. Parents Osiris and Isis. God of the sky, kingship, war, and protection. Often depicted as a falcon or falcon headed man. Yep. Interesting. Uh-oh, Chino's up. He's making noise. Maybe take that as a. Yeah, I guess it is interesting that the Hierophant came out as like the fourth card because it symbolizes marriage, and then we have like Osiris, Isis, and the lovers here. But with the Chariot and the High Priestess, this is like being drawn to something and not knowing why. But with both Abyssus, Abyssum, and Wokat on the lovers, and Abyssus, Abyssum, and Wokat on the Two of Cups and the lovers here, Mystery of the Covenant, it's something that is very much so aligned. And it's aligned to the truth of someone. The giver. I forgot what the burden was. That was a terrible shuffle. That was much better. Clean flipper, clean fall, please. The Chariot again. Bottom of the deck is the Bereaved, which is Isis. Chariot of Osiris. Under the Bereaved, Three of Swords, is the Champion. Again, the Champion could be Horus because Horus is the one that defeats Set. Set is the one that murdered and dismembered Osiris. But I mean, they were also present in the other card. I see the two sphinxes that are pulling this chariot, and those were the sphinxes, both the top and underneath the Wheel of Life. This Wheel of Life is in between the lovers and the Herald of the Flame, Awaken the Brilliance. We just saw the lovers with the chariot energy. See how there's like one on top and one on the bottom? A sphinx. It's like these two sphinxes are driving this chariot. I guess you could say um, Osiris was destined to be dismembered by Set. Isis was destined to grieve. Um, and although when Set originally bested Osiris, it's like Chaos had won. Ultimately, after Osiris's reassembly, he would give birth to Horus with Isis, and Horus would overcome Set. So destiny turned towards chaos, but then it turned again back towards order. And maybe that's meant to be like encouraging. Just because something happens in one way doesn't mean it's necessarily the end of the story. The Hierophant, the Two of Cups, and the Chariot are the cards looking at me. Cool. Well, I hope that you have an amazing whatever whenever you see this. I hope that you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. I hope that whatever you need along your path, journey, and where you find. And yeah, I am hopefully gonna go to bed. So I'm just gonna end this here.